powerful quotes by Cicero for a Stoic life. To be content with what we possess is the greatest and most secure of riches. While there's life, there's hope. Wisdom is the only thing which can banish sorrow from the breast. Ability without honor is useless. There is no doubt that a person who is called generous and open-handed has duty in mind, not gain. The authority of those who teach is often an obstacle for those who want to learn. It is not by strength or speed or swiftness of body that great deeds are done, but by wisdom, character, and sober judgment. What then is freedom? The power to live as one wishes. Cultivation of the mind is as necessary as food to the body. If you have a garden and a library, you have everything you need. Hatreds not voiced, but which are concealed, are to be feared more than those openly declared. Any man can make mistakes, but only an idiot persists in his error. The closer the collapse of the empire, the crazier its laws are. The fruit of too much liberty is slavery. I prefer the most unfair peace to the most righteous war. By this time I was thoroughly terrified, not so much fearing death as the treachery of my own kind. The enemy is within the gates. It is within our own luxury, our own folly, our own criminality that we have to contend. We must not say every mistake is a foolish one. The shifts of fortune test the reliability of friends. What one has, one ought to use, and whatever he does, he should do with all his might. Freedom is a possession of inestimable value. We must not only obtain wisdom, we must enjoy her. A man of faith is also full of courage. Kindness is stronger than fear. It is not by muscle, speed, or physical dexterity that great things are achieved, but by reflection, force of character, and judgment. Your enemies can kill you, but only your friends can hurt you. Love is the attempt to form a friendship inspired by beauty. Our span of life is brief, but is long enough for us to live well and honestly. A room without books is like a body without a soul. I am not ashamed to confess I am ignorant of what I do not know. What is morally wrong can never be advantageous, even when it enables you to make some gain that you believe to be to your advantage. A happy life consists of tranquility of mind. It is the peculiar quality of a fool to perceive the faults of others and to forget his own. Life is nothing without friendship. It is foolish to tear one's hair in grief, as though sorrow would be made less by baldness. It is a great thing to know your vices. What is dishonorably got is dishonorably squandered. Times are bad. Children no longer obey their parents, and everyone is writing a book. To be ignorant of what occurs heard before you were born is to remain always a child. For what is the worth of human life unless it is woven into the life of our ancestors by the records of history? In times of war, the law falls silent. There are no snares more dangerous than those which lurk under the guise of duty or the name of relationship. If we are not ashamed to think it, we should not be ashamed to say it. The man who backbites an absent friend, nay, who does not stand up for him when another blames him, the man who angles for bursts of laughter and for the repute of a wit, who can invent what he never saw, who cannot keep a secret, that man is black at heart. Mark and avoid him. We are bound by the law so that we may be free. Diseases of the soul are more dangerous and more numerous than those of the body. Friendship improves happiness and abates misery by doubling our joys and dividing our grief. To teach is a necessity. To please is a sweetness. To persuade is a victory. Not for ourselves alone are we born. Gratitude is not only the greatest of virtues, but the parent of all others. The man to open his ears widest to flatterers is he who first flatters himself and is fondest of himself. For there is but one essential justice which cements society, and one law which establishes this justice. This law is the right reason, which is the true rule of all commandments and prohibitions. Whoever neglects this law, whether written or unwritten, is unnecessarily unjust and wicked. Not to know what has been transacted in former times is to be always a child. If no use is made of the labors of past ages, the world must remain always in the infancy of knowledge. The life given us by nature is short, but the memory of a well-spent life is eternal. To study philosophy is nothing but to prepare oneself to die. The life of the dead is set in the memory of the living. A friend is a second self. Politicians are not born, they are excreted. The face is a picture of the mind, with the eyes as its interpreter. The life of the dead is placed on the memories of the living. The love you gave in life keeps people alive beyond their time. Anyone who was given love will always live on in another's heart. I criticize by creation, not by finding fault. The mere act of disbelieving that some wrongful course of action constitutes an advantage is pernicious. For books are more than books. They are life, the very heart and core of ages past, the reason why men worked and died, the essence and quintessence of their lives. When you wish to instruct, be brief, that men's children's minds take in quickly what you say, learn its lesson, and retain it faithfully. Every word that is unnecessary only pours over the side of a brimming mind. Law applied to its extreme is the greatest injustice. Freedom is participation in power. The function of wisdom is to discriminate between good and evil. Where is there dignity unless there is honesty? Nothing is as harmful as expectations. No one is so old as to think that he cannot live one more year. Knowledge which is divorced from justice may be called cunning rather than wisdom. Never injure a friend, even in jest.